So today I want to talk about Ubisoft. Now, I know if you've seen my channel, you saw a video where I did talk about Ubisoft already, and you saw me bash them for their business practices, anti-consumer ways, and just overall greed. But it's actually a funny thing. Ubisoft games have always been my guilty pleasure. Now, I'm not actually going to be talking about the company today. I'm going to be talking about their games. And their games might not be objectively good.
Damn it, they locked the door.
But a lot of Ubisoft games scratch this weird specific itch in my brain that makes them so satisfying to play, despite them not being fantastic. Maybe it's just nostalgia speaking, or maybe it's just the way they handle reward-based gameplay. Quick, easy, fast, dopamine rush. Anyways, I want to talk about 4 different games that I feel represent 80% of Ubisoft games, and the scratch that itches in my brain every time I play these specific games. Now, the first game I wanted to talk about was Far Cry 3. Now, Far Cry 3 is actually the perfect example of what I'm talking about. It actually kind of pioneered and established the standard Ubisoft formula that we still see this company use today in their current games. A massive open world filled to the brim with objectives, points of interest, and repetitive copy and paste activities, alongside the freedom to do them in any way that you really feel like it, which is a good thing. But most people would call it lazy game design, and in a way it kinda is, but there's just something so satisfying about clearing the red from the map and taking out bad guys in creative and fun ways. It really does feel like you're making progress and having a good time because you get to do it in any way you feel like it. Now, Far Cry 3 sets this ideal tone with the tropical theme. It's a location that most people would love to take a vacation on, and it's that sense of escape, which definitely helps with the feeling I get in my brain. But what really sells this specific game is Voss. He's an awesome villain with an amazing performance by Michael Mando, which makes coming back to this game so good.
What is it, Jason? Jason, what is it? Why aren't you laughing now like you did up there? But is this not fun anymore? Have I failed to entertain you? You see, the thing is, up there, you thought you had a chance. Way up in the fucking skies, you thought you had your finger on the pussy trigger. But hermano, down here. Down here. You hit the ground.
It really is what I'm talking about. Simple mechanics, an open world with freedom, and satisfying gameplay loop, even though it is kind of repetitive. But it's got a good enough sandbox of weapons to play with and vehicles, and it even has a map creator that you can play around with. Even though it is a form of slop, this game is a delight to play, and it's definitely the best Far Cry game. I would love to talk about it more, but I kind of want to talk about other games, so if you really want to see everything that Far Cry 3 has to offer, I'd suggest go watching Pyrocynical's video, which did a full deep dive on the entire game. But that brings me to my next game. Assassin's Creed Black Flag is honestly my favorite game in the Assassin's Creed series, and I'm sure most people would agree with that opinion. Being a fan of the Pirates of the Caribbean films, and of pirate theming in general, I've always loved how this game captures that pirate fantasy, just like the movies do. Honestly, very few games ever get that feeling quite right. That being said, the game definitely drags, whether it's tailing missions, or the modern day sections, or those forced scripted segments where you're locked to a single port until you play more of the story mission to get access to your ship again. Those first 2 hours really do kill the momentum, but once you're finally cut loose to set sail on the open seas, it's an absolute blast. The freedom to just be a pirate is great. Even if the combat is just simple button mashing and the parkour is nothing special, that all helps with wanting to play more of the game. Also, you really don't need to be invested in the story to have fun exploring the open seas or hunting for treasure, or just collecting those satisfying sea shanties. Gosh, those things are satisfying. Either way, the game is definitely one that scratches that itch in my brain. And the new remake that just came out, literally just came out, does fix most of those issues that I talked about, which is awesome, and it's good to see that the remake actually is proving my point, that an old clunky mess of ideas in an over-milked franchise-ass game is still worth playing even to this day. I love pirate-themed video games, and I would really love to see AAA studios take a whack at making a pirate game. There just aren't enough of them, but there's also not many games like the next game I want to talk about. Ghost Recon Wildlands definitely isn't my favorite Ubisoft game, and it's far from those original Ghost Recon games that the OG fans of the series loved. But I still really enjoy what this game is doing and feel like it's a slept-on IP. Of course, it uses the standard Ubisoft formula, but pretty much is modernized. Yet there's something about it that I really like. The map being way more vast and everything you do just feeling a little more detailed and tactical, all while having a beautiful South American location just to freely explore. That's awesome. Not many games use this setting and have a cartel as the main antagonist. It's something you just don't see that often in video games. And the sandbox is massive, with loads of weapons and vehicles to play with. Sure, the gunplay is kinda clunky and takes some time to get used to, but it's deeply satisfying when you pull off a clean shot. And driving actually isn't half bad either. I know a lot of open world games usually struggle with that. Although all that stuff is good and all, the stealth mechanics are kinda janky. You always get spotted easily at some point, just for no reason. Let me just stealthily move the chopper real quick. No one will suspect a thing. Anyways, the open world is seamless, and it integrates the main objectives into the free roam, letting you walk straight into missions without a single loading screen breaking the flow of the game. It's that constant, uninterrupted gameplay, combined with the gun sandbox, and the freedom to take down the bad guys in any way you feel like it. Wait, hold on, I'm starting to see a pattern here. I'll say the best part about this game is that it takes itself super serious for some reason, which makes the dumb fun of playing it even better. And I'm not gonna say that Ghost Recon Wildlands is some secret masterpiece that everyone should play. It's just some silly fun game that has some genuinely gorgeous graphics and enough content to keep my dopamine receptors firing pretty consistently while playing it. If you have friends, unlike me, I'm sure it's even more enjoyable getting you and your friend's brains scratched all at the same time. But Ghost Recon Wildlands is not the only Ubisoft game that offers that feeling. The Division 2 is a very lonely game. Walking through the post-apocalyptic ruins of DC, it almost feels like a zombie game. And in a lot of ways, I think it kinda should be. I'm following the directions of the old Walking Dead series. I heard there's a virus or something. Well, look at Cletus, my man. Now, out of all the games I've talked about today, this one is the hardest to describe the itch in my brain that this game scratches. It's different. I can't say it's any better than the other games or even more fun, because it just isn't. I really do believe this is the most brain-melting of all of them. Just mindlessly shooting bad guys while playing through the watered-down, milquetoast-ass story, with recycled cover system, movement, AI, pretty much all the gameplay from the first game, but it's the most simple form of satisfying. You shoot and you loot. that really is all I could say to sum up this game. Yeah, I kind of like, just like brain dead, like, shooters, you know what I mean? Looter shooters are very much my speed. What the hell? What is with that bird? I do kind of feel bad talking crap about this game because, well, the team at Ubisoft that makes The Division does have talent, and you can really tell in the way the game sounds. And in the environments, they're just so dense and detailed. Some of my favorite times playing this game are when I was just walking around the city exploring. You can tell the level designers spent a lot of time making all of it so detailed. Now, playing this game with friends would make it a lot more fun and a lot less lonely, but convincing your friends to buy and play an Ubisoft game with you is pretty much impossible. Well, that's pretty much all I have to say about my guilty pleasure Ubisoft games. I'm glad I could finally get that off my chest. And thank you all so much for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. And tell me what you thought in the comments down below. That's all from me, and I'm gonna go play an actual good game, Breath of the Wild now. Peace.